Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This is the fourth video in our little installment here on the fundamentals of shooting. And today we're going to be talking about trigger control. Trigger control really consists of three parts: finger placement on the trigger, trigger pull, and then trigger reset. And we're going to talk about all those things right now. I'm going to jump right in. All right guys, finger placement on the trigger, first part, okay? I like to start off telling everybody that for any kind of firearm really, trigger control starts here, okay, with your finger indexed on the frame. Like we talked about in previous videos, everything we do with firearms is safety first, okay? So starting off with your finger on the frame before we're ready to shoot is where it all starts. All right. That being said, once we are ready to shoot and we've made the decision to fire our firearm, and we have everything aligned, side alignment, side picture, and all of those universal rules have been applied, okay, we're going to go ahead and move our finger onto the trigger. All right. What we're looking for, guys, is to have the pad, the center of just the pad of our finger, to be on the trigger. All right. So this little first part of our finger here, just the pad, and we want to be in the center of that pad on the trigger. All right. I know this is probably hard to see for you guys, but just the pad, the center of the pad on the trigger. All right. What happens is if we're too far in, okay, and we're like up to our first knuckle, basically, even though we have everything aligned, when you go ahead and pull that trigger, you're going to be introducing movement to the firearm at the last second. Okay, so everything's aligned, I'm right on target, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that trigger. All right, if you could see what's happening to the muzzle here, it's moving to the right. All right, basically I'm yanking on that trigger because I'm too far in. I'm not able to pull the trigger straight back because I'm in the wrong placement, okay? And then at the last second, again, what you're gonna find is you're gonna be shooting to the right of where you're aiming. All right, vice versa, if you're not far enough into the trigger, it's gonna be the opposite. You're gonna end up introducing movement to the left, just like that, all right? And you're gonna end up shooting to the left of your target. All right, so right in between your first knuckle and the tip of your finger on the pad, right in the center, so that you can pull the trigger straight back without introducing any movement to the firearm. All right, that's the first part, guys. Center of the pad on the trigger, okay? Second part to this is trigger pull. All right, so again, once you have everything aligned, your sights are aligned and the decision's been made to shoot, that's when you go ahead and put your finger on the trigger. Again, correct placement. And what you'll find in semi-automatic pistols anyway, you're going to have this like dead space or really easy to pull space in your trigger. I call it my prep space, all right? It's like a little added safety, just in case you get excited and you put your finger on the trigger too early or whatever. You have space here before this gun actually goes off, okay? I call it my prep space. So when you're all aligned, you go ahead, put your finger on the trigger, and you're gonna pull back until you hit a wall. You're gonna find that there's almost no resistance to this trigger in this prep space until you hit a wall, basically, until you get to a point where it stops, but the gun hasn't gone off yet. Okay, I call that the wall. All right, so prep up to that wall, and then from this point, what you want to do is apply consistent pressure to the trigger until you go past that wall. So you're going to have to apply more pressure at this point, and you want it to be consistent and easy until you go past that wall, and then the gun's going to go off. Okay? So sights aligned, finger on the trigger, prep up to that wall, easy, consistent pressure until the gun goes bang. All right? That's trigger pull. It's important that you guys understand that once you start actually applying that pressure past that wall, that you keep it consistent. You don't want to be yanking or starting and stopping, just like pushing a car out on the road, guys. When you start pushing that car and you get it rolling, it gets easier. But if you stop, all that pressure you have to apply again to get that thing going again. The same thing happens with your trigger, okay? So once you start to go past that wall, you apply that pressure, that same amount of pressure, until you get past that wall, all right? Again, that all helps with minimizing movement to the gun while you're actually pulling that trigger, okay? And the last part is trigger reset. Trigger reset is simply allowing the trigger to come forward until you go past that wall again, and then the trigger internally is allowed to reset so that you can pull the trigger again. So what's going to happen is up on target, finger on the trigger, prep, easy bang, okay? The gun's going to go bang, and then from after the whole commotion happens, you're going to allow the trigger to come forward, and you can hear a click there. That's you going past that wall. The trigger is now reset, and then you can come back on that wall. That's trigger reset, okay? So again, aiming, everything's aligned, finger on the trigger, prep, easy bang, come forward, click, back on the trigger, back up to that wall, and then you're ready for your next shot. All right, guys, that's trigger control. All right, again, train, practice at home. This is really, really easy and important to do at home, dry firing. Dry firing allows you to learn your trigger, all right? And that's what it's all about, right? Finding that prep area, getting used to that prep area, and then getting used to and learning how much pressure to apply to get past that wall. All right, guys? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for our next video, which is going to wrap up our mini-series here on fundamentals of shooting, and that's going to be follow-through. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, toggle notifications to all, like, share, comment, tell all your friends, and we'll see you next time. Be ready, train smart.